What is up, ninjas? My name is Emerald, and welcome to Paradox 150 Serum presets in the style of modern techno, guys. Now, first off, I want to thank my mama, my father, and some of you guys that joined me for the live stream, guys. Thank you guys for your support, your feedback, as well as your suggestions and what kind of sounds we should put in this sound bank. 150 Serum presets in 2 months. A lot of hard work, guys, but hopefully you guys enjoy the sounds, and hopefully you decide to support this pack, support the channel. Now, I always love making sound banks in the style of music that I'm into at the moment, and right now I love techno music as well as tech house. But techno, I've been really liking because, one, it's getting more aggressive. Two, more trancier breakdowns are starting to come with Hidden Empire, Spectre, and I'm making them. Really love the stuff. So I wanted to make a sound bank that pays homage to that. Now, we did check out different artists, guys, so you're gonna find a bit of everything in this pack, but the focus was aggressive techno leads, aggressive techno stuff, because one of the things I found was that there's a lot of melodic techno sounds that's out there, but there's none for aggressive kind or modern techno, and that's what we're going to tackle today, guys, and I hope you guys enjoy the sounds. Again, you can support this pack over at evilsounds.com. I'll leave the link in the description down below, but let's get started in checking some of these sounds out, guys. So first off, we're going to have here our assets. Now, our assets are going to be very aggressive. There's going to be a couple that are more chill, like the traditional 303, but when you're going inside of Serum, you should know already that you ain't going to get the 303 sound, but you're going to get something just as good, and this is going to be Acid Comb. The next sound we have, guys, is called Mushroom because it sounds a little bit like a Psytrance 303. You can do a lot of cool stuff with this one. If you don't like how aggressive it is, you can turn off the Balls Deep mod, make it a little bit more mellower, and you do have this mod here. Open your soul. You can do a lot of cool stuff with that mod. You know, that's something that I like there. Reverb and delay just to get it to feel like it's building up into something. Hopefully a good drop that I can be a part of with these sounds. Okay. All right, guys. So that's going to be the Acid Mushroom. Here we have one called Smooth Criminal. And some of these presets are going to have things that make them change over time, mainly LFOs that don't have the trig on or the envelope on. And they're going to be very slow, but they're going to change the sound over time the more you play it. And that's what I kind of wanted to add to some of them. As I was listening to a lot of songs by Umek, he had this cool thing where the filter would move a lot. So I wanted to incorporate that into some of the presets. Now, this one by Enrico Sanguiliano, inspired by him, he has it changing over time, and I believe it's playing like an ARP. So that's what that is for. If you don't like, you can always right-click and remove all destinations. That way it stays on the same spot. And that's about it, guys. Here we have OT. If you don't want it in wide, distortion, and the phase just gives a good vibe there. So make sure to check out those mods, okay? Now, the basslines, guys, was a bit difficult to decide what to add because, as you guys know, a lot of techno utilizes convolution reverb to create the bass and the delayed kick technique to create the rolling bass side of it. However, what we decided to do for the basslines is add a bit of dirty basslines, which you're going to see are super cool, as well as bass stabs, which are going to be there for adding a little bit of ear candy to your track. For instance, this one called Acid Roller can be used as a rolling bass, which is similar to the Acid sounds, except it has a bit of low end, so you can definitely use it as a bass. You can increase the cutoff tone to use it more as a bass shot. You can make it hard. You know, so that's going to be the cool thing there. We can increase the kill it to add a layer, a super saw layer. Just a bit of reverb on that, add it, and you can get some cool atmospheric stuff out of it. Now, as we move along here, we have another one called Alien Burp. This is going to be another rolling bass that you can utilize. However, you can also use it with this mod DK as a nice bass stab for your track. So as we move along here, guys, we're going to have here the drum code bass stab. A lot of bass stabs, as you guys can see. So different style. You can turn it into a wub with one of the mods. Make it sound a little bit more high FM-ish. Give a bit of delay if that's what you want to get that nice vibe there. Here we have one called Enrico Ghetto Blaster, which is just the Ghetto Blaster bass shot, which is a square and acid layer there, as you guys can see. Here we have a bass, which is a perky bass, which you can utilize as a rolling bass, as a moving bass, whatever you want to do with it. You can turn it into an effect shot if you want, just to get that, as you guys know, so it's super cool. You can do a lot of cool stuff with that. Now, the next bassline, guys, is one of my favorites called Hidden Beauty Saw, and I think you guys know where it's from. Now this next sound, guys, is one of my favorite bass lines in the pack. It's going to be inspired by Stefan Botzin, definitely, as well as the Moog Sub 37 next to me. Now, essentially, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to use this in your breakdowns, and it's probably the only sound you will use, maybe with an ARP on top if you don't open it that much, but it's going to sound like this. So essentially, that's how the sound is going to sound like, guys. You're going to have access to some modules, like if you want to detune it more. To get more of a detune vibe on it, but I'll leave that bass sound there for you guys. It's one of my favorites from the pack. Utilize the cutoff filter and automate it, and you can get some amazing things with that one, guys. Here we have the bass called Start of Something. You can use it to add a bit of, you know, movement to the track, a little bit of ear candy. Here's another one. So again, these are very cool to kind of add in the track. Here we have one called the Driver Marrow. You know, just put a kick on top of that, pick your desired effect, distort it, you know, whatever you want to get. These are kind of cool just to have and get something cool. Now, the last bass I will show you guys is called The Music, The Acid, and it's inspired by Aces. And essentially, the way this is supposed to be used, guys, is you're going to have your speed LFO here, and you're going to play your melody and then move this around. So essentially, here's one. You can also use it in other ways, like playing it at high octave. Now, the next sound we have, guys, are going to be the effects. Now, the effects are going to be a combination of literally shots, like tech shots and whatnot, that are pretty cool. For instance, here we have FX Clock Strikes Midnight, which is just a metallic kind of hit vibe sound. You can definitely use the low pass a bit and do a little bit of cool. You can mess around, give it a, and change it up a bit, but that's going to be one of them. As we move along here, we have a drone. Here we have a super cool effects which you can utilize on the drop or a break. Sounds a bit like a movie. You have hits. And these are going to be cool again for the techno vibe, the techno effect. You can make it wide, add a bit of chorus, distort it, whatever you feel like. You know, they're going to have some cool kind of vibe. Here we have another metallic hit. The effects are going to be a lot of that, as well as this one, transition. So those are going to be cool for that kind of stuff, guys. Here we have one called Midnight. Now, the leads are going to be super cool, guys. We're going to have a bit of melodic leads, but as well as the horn leads. Now, for instance, here we have the Emily horn, which is inspired from one of her tracks, where she has it playing like... However, if we play lower octaves... Yeah. All right, so you can do a lot of cool stuff like that. We have a beautiful plate. Essentially, this sound is super cool, inspired by Pig and Dance song. I forgot the name of it, but it has a plate-style saw in it, which sounds really good. So definitely worth checking out. The next lead we have, guys, is called Big Ass Super Saw. You can definitely use it like this. Maybe move the cutoff up a little bit here with the mod. And so these are the big super saws that you see a lot in techno right now, and I really like them. So we're going to have a lot of that, guys, here. We're going to have Lead Cash Me Outside, which is a Hidden Empires lead. A very, very industrial vibe. As you guys can see, it just sounds so dirty. So these are going to be some of those guys there. We have a cool lead here called Double Lust. This is going to be from Umek. It's a heavy one. Here we have a lead called Ever Changing. Now I really like this lead because it's one of the ones that changes over time. But you can do some cool stuff. You can do stuff like... That's so satisfying to do. Increase the cutoff. Here we have this lead called Patagonia, which is one of my favorites as well. So you can use it as a shot, or you can definitely glide it. It's one of my favorite ones in the pack. Here we're going to have a nice analog sync lead called Planet. Just put a bit of reverb. You know, very, very, very industrial. I guess we should call these the industrial presets, guys. But those are going to be some of the leads, guys. Here we have a Webo one, which I really like. The next thing we have, guys, are going to be pads. Now, this pad is a bit overkill, I feel like, but if you guys want to use it, use it. But there's a lot of cool stuff in this one. Definitely use it sort of like the Moog melodic sound to kind of get it. Alright, so it's a very heavy one. Heavy hitter. So that's going to be one of the pads. But of course, we're going to have more of the simple one. You can use it in a... You know, one of them like Matt. You're going to have access to there, man. That one is really loud, but you guys get the idea on that. Now, the Pluck is going to contain a little bit of everything in terms of trancey Plucks for that sort of techno, as well as the more chill Plucks for melodic techno. For instance, here we have the Armin van Techno Pluck. You know, if we move along, here we have the Arts one. Get rid of the wetness. Okay, so very cool sound there. We have the bald head. You know, just for the nice singularity inspired arps there. Experiment's really nice, sign-based one. Now, the last plug I'm going to show you guys is one of my favorite, and I believe the best plug in the pack. It has a lot of weight, it has multiple layers in it, as you guys can see here, but it sounds like this. Okay, so it's a very cool plug. Okay, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. All right, guys, and now we have the sequences. Now here we have one called Machine Gun. If you want to change the melody up, all I recommend you guys do is just hold down the note in the MIDI keyboard or have a MIDI note going all the way through. And then on top, you can add any note you want, and that will create like kind of like a glide effect. You don't have to have it sustaining all the way, just little bits here and there. But it's going to sound like this. The next sequence we have is called Malone. And you can move it around if you guys want. Again, similar to the other one. Another sequence called Tyrant. And finally, guys, I'm going to show you guys the last sound, which is going to be a synth shot called Charlotte Tuba, which is one from Charlotte DeWitt's tracks. It's going to essentially sound like... If you guys want to use it, you can turn it into string. Alright guys, and those are going to be some of the sounds. I showed you a couple, but there's 150 presets that you guys can utilize here. Use them in your next song, guys. Support the channel if you want. You're going to be able to find them over at evilsounds.com. But as always, guys, thank you guys for your support. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some of the sounds, and I can't wait to see what you guys make with them. You guys take care. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out and take care.